Alright gang, I made a video a few months back about Harman Phoenix, and I guess this is the sequel that nobody asked for. But as long as Harman makes Phoenix films, I'm always going to make a video about it. Because, to recap, Phoenix is pretty important. Harman has only ever made black and white film, and they're trying to shake things up in the industry by stepping into the world of colour film. This is very respectable because cooking up a new emotion isn't easy at all. The original Phoenix has been out since the end of 2023, almost 2 years ago now, and recently they dropped Phoenix II. So what do we know about it? Firstly, the box. It's blue. Usually, the colour on a film stock's box is a good representation of the images you're going to get out of it, and from what I've been watching on YouTube, many people have been getting slightly bluer pictures out of Phoenix 2 compared to the original, which is interesting. With Phoenix 1, I was pleasantly surprised by the pictures I got. Poor dynamic range aside, Phoenix 1 really gives a warm, unique look combined with a harsh, crunchy grain structure that comes together to make pictures that look, for lack of a better word, filmic. So yeah, let's see how the new colours look. Unfortunately, the film base is still purple with Phoenix 2, which is a bit sad. This was one of the major pain points of the original Phoenix that made scanning the film really difficult, and it seems they still have not changed it. Last but not least, the dynamic range of this new version is supposed to have been improved by a little bit, which is very welcome. The original Phoenix couldn't properly capture contrasty scenes very well, and I hope that's something that can be addressed in this second iteration. So here we have two rolls of the film, one in 35mm and one in 120. Let's go shoot. I came here to shoot the original Phoenix 1 a while ago, also in medium format on the Hasselblad 500cm, so I'm going to do the exact same thing with the exact same setup to shoot Phoenix 2. You know, for an apples to apples comparison. Or whatever fruit you like, I don't really give a shit. The first shot I went for was one of this pavilion. I do have a copy of this composition under similar lighting conditions on Phoenix 1, so let's look at them side by side. We can definitely see that the dynamic range has improved on Phoenix 2. The original Phoenix 1 was overexposing in the highlights, while Phoenix 2 seems to be able to handle the bright areas of the images much better. Colours wise, yeah, it's more blue, that's all I gotta say. To be honest, I like the colours of the original Emotion more, and the grain doesn't seem to have changed much. We still see a very pronounced rough grain structure in the image, especially considering this is an ISO 200 film stock in medium format. I mean, this is like the amount of grain I'd expect from a 35mm image. Let's have a look at more pictures though. I probably should have taken the limited dynamic range of this film stock into consideration, but I still protected for the shadows as I always do, and yeah, the images do still kind of hold up, which is good to see. I'm definitely on the edge of clipping the highlights for these shots, but yeah, I just lean into the look and roll with it. It's not a bad look by any means, it's just that for more contrasty scenes, you're going to get pictures that look like the rapture is going on, or like a nuke went off in the distance or something. Let's shoot some street scenes as well. Here we can see how the film stock performs in milder lighting conditions. There were some clouds in the sky, so the sun wasn't showing its bare ass cheeks, and it seems like it is under such conditions that Phoenix 2 looks a lot more controlled and normal. The colour palette is pretty interesting, honestly, as with the original Phoenix. It's a unique look. Like, you're not going to get these colours with Portra or Gold or any other Kodak offerings. This is a very stylistic palette. Although I don't really know how to objectively review the colours of this film stock. More on that later. Here's a picture of an uncle on the street whom I managed to get a picture of. He then proceeded to chase me down and beat my ass. I'm kidding, he was chill, we had a nice chat and I took his photo. But yeah, here's a picture of a person on Phoenix 1 for comparison. It's not exactly a fair comparison though, because I had immaculate lighting for this one and the model was absolutely dripped out in fashion, while this is just an uncle. I'm sorry, no hate to this uncle, he was chill. Okay, so that's medium format. Now let's look at Phoenix 2 in the smaller, more common 35mm format. Watch me load my Nikon F2 with the most atrocious posture known to man. This is not what I meant when I said break my back. And damn, yeah, if you thought the medium format pictures were grainy, then these are even grainier. Just look at that. I also had the bright idea of shooting these compositions under a bridge, which in hindsight isn't exactly the smartest move when you're shooting a film stock with slight film levels of dynamic range. I tried to balance the exposure to get both the bright-ass sky and the dark-ass underbelly of the bridge, but as the wise man Confucius said, the man who chases two rabbits catches neither. Oh well, this Confucius guy really be saying anything, huh? Here's a shot where I applied a Dutch angle for absolutely no reason whatsoever.
Kinda weird, man. Please reverse. That's reverse. It's not this way.
Here's the token sunset shot, and a few more before the sun disappeared. These are quite underexposed and extra crunchy, and yeah, Phoenix is ISO 200, so fun times. At least I had my 50mm f1.2 on me. And my flash as well. I took a shot of this group of chill people, and it's quite sick actually. Flash with Phoenix 2 would be a good combo if I didn't have to worry about the flash blowing out the image because of the limited dynamic range. Last but not least, a few handheld raw dog shots while we were cycling down this road. And yeah, these are definitely some of my favorites from the roll. There's motion blur, but it adds to the vibe. I love it. This definitely isn't something I would shoot if I had a digital camera, where I could use whatever ISO I wanted. But I had no choice with film, so I didn't think about technical perfection and just got the shots. And the grain, motion blur, colors, all come together to create a really stylistic photo, which is why I love film photography.
Having a break, what do you think? This is not class, what do you go?
Oh no, I don't put that. My favorite YouTuber in action.
Anyway, so that's Phoenix 2. While I'm quite happy with the images I got, part of me is still kinda upset that I'm paying more than I would for Kodak Gold or Ultra Max, but getting objectively worse photos. The colors are interesting, sure, but I'm shooting ISO 200 and getting ISO 3200 levels of grain, and the dynamic range is a real pain in the ass. I'm sorry Harman, I love that you're trying, but I hope Phoenix does get better in the future, because I'm sure a Kodak film stock would have been able to capture this scene with no issue. I guess I could have made it work with a lot more mental games and if I were more careful in my metering, but what do I get in return? It's not like slide film where I get high resolution positives. Phoenix 2 image quality isn't anything worth the trouble at the end of the day. And the scanning. I don't know whether it's a skill issue on my end, but sometimes I convert the negatives and they come out okay. Then other times they come out with funky ass colors which require insane color correction to the point where I don't even know if I'm accurately depicting the intended color palette of the film stock. Not to mention the artifacts that result as well. What's that about? So yeah, I don't know. To me, I probably won't daily drive this film stock. Still though, kudos to Harman for innovating in these trying times, and I hope Phoenix can mature to become a competitive product one day. In the meantime, there's other new film stocks that have just hit the market to try as well. Lucky 200 video coming soon. I'm excited for that one.